I get the cheat code, I'm a beast. They said they'll never let me out of lease. Stop out the cap, I'm just trying to see. You really back what you talk on the beat. They put me in, I'ma walk on the beat. I eat my plate and it make me obese. I been pushing lyrics like a kingpin. And when the day we got no rings.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hola.
Hello.
Another day, another episode. Get you a mug.
Get you 2 mugs. They've been going crazy in Miami with the mugs. We're gonna have to go in sweaters and t-shirts, and I'm thinking about like we have to introduce beach towels or something because they're just going nuts in Miami. The 305, 786 down there, Broward County, Hialeah.
954, 561.
That's right.
There's like a small army in Hialeah of people wearing cheat code merchandise. Really odd.
It's not odd. We have a friend down there, the gentleman that made you the
Ray.
humidor. Yeah,
Ray.
he's
Not odd that we're getting this support,
Yeah.
but Hialeah? Awafangui Factoria. You got to be from Miami to know those type of things, man. Hialeah, man. Hialeah, I'm rocking with you, man. Hialeah is like its own part of Miami.
Yeah.
Like you can know Miami left and right, but
Is
you
it
go in
north,
Hialeah
right?
and
It's
you're going to
north?
get like, Hialeah is like right at the edge of like Liberty City where Miami turns into like Miami Gardens.
Yeah.
So like Hialeah was like the little cousin that came over, but he really stayed on his own. He was like right there on the outskirts.
Really, really close to Fort Lauderdale?
No, on the opposite end.
Opposite end? Okay.
Yeah, Hialeah is more towards the west side of Miami. So
Okay,
like
got
on
it.
the back side of the airport, that
Okay.
would be the
Oh,
Hialeah
yeah.
side. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So shout out to Hialeah, man. Shout out to Tampa. You like your hat?
Yeah, one time, Champa Bay, one time for my dog H. It's the Buccaneers, the Lightning, and what's the other Tampa team? It's all 3 teams all together.
That's cool.
AYCH302. Go on, follow him on the
Yeah.
gram and get your hat
H.
right now.
What
Shout
up?
out to H.
So I was, I think our conversations are always good. I was in a dope meeting, and
You were meeting about dope?
Not on
the
camera.
meeting was dope.
I see.
That's how
and we were
Lorian
talking
got messed
about
up.
post-release.
Post Malone?
Post-release. After the release. One time for Post Malone. But you know, what happens immediately after the release is done? After a successful run is concluded, and then you move on to the next thing. Post this, post that. It was a post meeting. And I don't think artists even know that on our end. There's a lot of new artists and new people getting into the industry.
I can't speak to that because we don't drop the way major labels drop. Like
Okay.
at our company, we believe in consistency. So we're dropping like every other week or every third week. So there is no post release. Like it's a continuum.
Mhm.
We don't drop albums. We drop singles. We drop songs.
Right, true.
Yeah. It all depends on where your goal is. You know, major label has a vision, so they know what their next step is. Independent artist is trying to figure out how to allocate their resources and get the most out of it. So
Correct.
their next step can adjust or can shift based off of the reaction or lack of reaction of a record. So
Right. I've noticed that when we stop or slow down, we lose momentum. So if we had to post anything, we'd be taking steps backwards, not forwards.
I think when you look at, maybe in the context that you're asking, maybe I may be looking more into it, but like, what can an artist do or their teams do immediately following a release? Immediately following a release at 12:01, your goofy ass need to be online making a video with your audio that's available on TikTok, on Meta, on Reels, and the rest of them at 12:01 a.m. As soon as it drops, you need to be up there. And if it takes you 2 minutes to record it, then okay, then by 12:02, it needs to drop. You do need to go visit and comment and engage and share, or somebody on your team, with every single post that you were given. So if a blogger or a website or a news publication came down, that's your job. If you're an artist, I think we've discovered this, you're only working 30 minutes a day. What happens? That's the preparation leading up into that stage show, the preparation leading up into your big performance. What goes on in that day? If you don't know what to do, that's why it's not successful.
So let's say,
And then when do they record? Like, is post-release recording time? Because a lot of artists need to separate business and creative, right? They can't create music and work their record at the same time. A lot of people can't. Not everybody, but a lot of people. So is post-release time to record?
Good question.
And and to be honest with you, a lot of artists, by the time that music comes out, it's old to them. They don't like it.
Right.
They're already
They don't
working
rap
on
like that
something
anymore.
new.
Right.
So that's just a formality. That song is a formality on their way for them to drop this new style they've been working on or this new feature, and they want to leak it and they want it. So what they're going to do is they're going to release a record, and then because they don't like that record, the only thing they're going to tease or make videos about will be the new shit that's out. That baffles me. How artists will drop a record and won't create any content relative to anything that's on the project. I understand it's on the marketing team to get it out. You have to create it though.
But you have to have it. You can't. If you're a marketer and you have no tools, you're screwed.
Tell me
so
about
the
it.
artist, there's a lot of things I can do for an artist, but what I can't do is be you. I can't shoot videos. I can't shoot content.
Well, we complained about it like week 30. Don't worry about it. They've got something. I've been testing it out. I'll let you know how it works out in a couple weeks. But there's about 4 different programs now that if I can get you to stand and look at the camera a certain way and say certain words and turn left or right, I'll never have to worry about you not behaving right or acting content for me. It's sad.
Is that AI?
That's definitely AI.
It is.
It's definitely artificial intelligence.
We're going to talk about that later
Unpurposely
today.
dumb question. Okay, so how long do you guys think it will take an artist to grasp what we just explained?
How long has the phonograph been in production? Artists have been complaining since the beginning of time. As a matter of fact, the artists that inspired the artists that are hot right now, they were warned by the people that inspired them.
And the people that inspired them.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
You will never, ever, you can't fix stupid. We talked about it. Y'all not going to like that word. You're not going to like that, are you? You can't fix stupid. I can't fix stupid.
Do you think it's stupid or ignorance? Because they don't
I'm sorry.
want to know.
Stupid. Yeah, I can't fix it either. I've tried. Oh my God, I've spent my career trying.
Listen, bro. Ignorance, stupid, they all walk a thin line. If you're an artist and you're doing criminal activities or you're out here doing clandestine things under the table and you get online and you broadcast them so that people can add validity to your music, you're stupid. That's got nothing to do with being ignorant. It's got nothing to do with being real. You're stupid. You go to jail and the first thing you do is get a phone and tweet out and comment every day that you're in jail from jail. You're stupid. You're not cool. You're not hard. You're not smart. You're not reaching your fan base. You're stupid. You're jeopardizing the lives and the livelihood of every person you call from that phone because they're going to catch that phone. You're jeopardizing the lives and the freedom of the person who bought that phone. You're stupid. And that's what stupid people do. Stupid people do stupid things. And waking up and expecting a label, a room full of 40-somethings that you feel are disconnected and couldn't tell you what kind of music to make, but you expect them to make you a star after the fact is baffling. If these people can't tell you what to write about, why would you let them making you a star be in their control too? There's no communication. Post-release starts 100 days before you drop the record. What you talking about, Willis? Post-release starts 100 days before we drop it. Pre-release starts 100 days after we drop the last one, 200 days before we plan the next one. We talked about it. What's for sale? Mother's Day. What comes after May 6th? You go to Walmart right now, everything's Cinco de Mayo. What comes on May 6th? You think May 5th? They're like, well, let's see how many people bought Cinco de Mayo stuff so we can know how much Mother Day stuff. No, it's already been ordered. It was ordered off of everything they bought last year. Walmart is the king of that. Yeah. Walmart introduced the UPC system.
Yeah.
They don't order stuff no more. The system orders it. When people go there and they scan all of the milk and the milk runs out, the computer says, hey, order the milk from this company. The company gets it, they put it on a truck and the truck comes. They're taking the human being out of all of that because you complain, you show up to work late, you fall asleep at the wheel, you like to steal, you're not paying attention at the job, you're causing work-related injuries, you're disrupting what's something that could be smooth. So a post-release plan and a pre-release plan, if you're trying to figure out when to start it, the right question should be, how long should it last? How long should a post-release last? How long are you a new artist, Ferrari?
How long do you want your career to last?
How long should your pre-release, your rollouts? Like, it never ends. We talked about that. When do you prepare for the summer? Last summer.
It never ends.
Never ends.
It never ends.
Never ends.
That's really the answer.
Because guess what? What you do with this record, everything that you did in preparation for this record is going to determine this record's post-release, because you're going to have to fill in the blanks, whatever you couldn't connect and then whatever reacted. You're going to learn everything that you did with this record. That's going to make the next post-release different.
Right.
And guess what? Once you learn from that one, that's going to make the next post-release different. So it's as simple as, okay, it's out, now what? If you have access to all your profiles, then you can grab access to your Apple for artists. You can share your milestones. You can find out where people are listening to you. If you have access to your Amazon for artists, you can feature your track. You can record an audio drop that your fans will be able to say, hey, Alexa, play Ferrari's new record. And it'll pop up, hey, everybody, it's Ferrari Simmons. Welcome to my new page. And if you didn't know, I'm coming to your city. And you can do that with Pandora.
Pandora does that too.
So, all of these different platforms, if you don't know what to do, then you're not looking hard enough.
Dear Cheat Code, as an independent artist on a budget, which is better to focus on, content or promotion? In Atlanta, I've paid DJs a few hundred before a month of rotation, but as Kingpin states, nobody's pulling out phones to Shazam in the club. So it doesn't affect streams. I know you guys say content is key, but I've been getting internet buzz from my videos. But it seems like in Atlanta, you have to be outside. What do you guys think?
You got to be outside everywhere, man. I guarantee you that there's an art, you can apply that artist's story. Doesn't have to be from Atlanta. That could be an artist from Miami. That could be an artist from Houston. That can be an artist from Milwaukee. It could be an artist from anywhere. They all feel the same way. You shouldn't be paying anybody for attention. When you're paying a DJ to play your record, you're paying for attention, bro. Your record wasn't hot enough to warrant it being played in the club. So you wanted it played at a certain time in the club. And when it did, you didn't do the things that you needed to do to study the metrics of it. We've talked about it. Going in the club, watching crowd reaction. Is it important? Yeah. Content? You have a phone. What does it cost you to make the content? To push the content? What are you, boosting ads? Oh my God. We talked about it. You're going to the gym every day. You start taking steroids every day. You're going to bulk up. That's your ads. You stop taking steroids, but you still keep going to the gym. What happens? You're going to fall off. That's ads. So if you don't have the money to consistently commit to ads, stop it. You're fucking yourself. You're ruining everything that you're doing because you're doing this to your career. And that's not how it goes.
It's not how it goes.
It's supposed to look like
yes,
it may dip down. And when it dips down, do you know what you do, Ferrari? You drop a record. You drop a record, because whenever there's a dip, that means people aren't paying attention no more. It's the stock market. It's watching it. You got to look at it every day. You don't listen to your own music every day, let alone look at the analytics of it. But it's the label's fault. It's the CEO's fault. It's the manager's fault. On all of these platforms, as soon as you grab access, do you know that you can designate which person is the artist?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why that would be. I just wonder.
Try to imagine.
Baffles me, bro. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like at some point in time, bro, it can't be a military secret. And it's not. It has everything to do with the lack of desire to put in the work that it takes to win. We've said it once, we've said it 100 times. She's written 2-3 books, read 1,000 of them. You got more podcasts than you could shake a stick at. More viable platforms to help more independent and established artists help themselves than at any other point in time in music history.
Correct.
No other time in music history. By the time you're watching this is a fact. There's about 12 million records introduced into the marketplace by the time you watch this. And that's assuming you're going to watch this in the second week of May, first week of May. That's 12 million records. In the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s, I want you to, let's ask ChatGPT today to pull up that list.
Okay.
And find me any
How many
error.
releases?
I want you to combine all of the releases from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s and tell me how many records were commercially released. And then tell me how many were released in 2023.
Yeah. It's probably a week's worth.
It's different, B.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? Nah, but we don't want it to be different. We want it to be what we saw. We want it to be what we thought it was because we hold on to the fantasy, man. And
That's such a hard question
First you asked like 4 questions, but go ahead, Wendy.
That's such a hard question for me to answer because for 31 years, I've been saying that this is not a free industry and you can't do this with just a little bit of money. It's sort of like somebody deciding to start a restaurant and they have enough money for the rent, but they don't have enough money for the food.
Yeah.
So how do you promote the fact that you've got the restaurant, but you don't really have the food? Isn't food what the restaurant is? It's baffling to me. Or they have a menu of 50 items, but they can only afford to buy 5 of them. So which 5 do you buy? The most popular ones or the ones that you make the most money on? Like, why are you even making that decision? Why don't you just fucking do it right? Why don't you put together a plan, figure out what this costs, and if you can't afford it, find somebody that can to partner with you so that you have a shot. Because I could sit here for the next 3 months and just name artists that failed, not because they were bad, but because they didn't have the money to do this properly.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, there are people that can't afford it and refuse to do it properly.
That's true too.
That have all of the money in the world and all of the resources.
There's people that get lucky. That lightning strikes, and there's people that have no money, no nothing, no anything, and they put out a song and it takes off.
That's like
But I can count that on one hand in
lightning
31
in a
years.
bottle type of situation.
But then on the back end, how many of those people that got lucky and found that hit
couldn't sustain?
They can't.
Will sit here. That'll probably be the only person we'd ever invite on this show that would sit here and tell us that everything worked out right for them. They got lucky. They got a hit record. They put it out and everything worked out right for them. They own all of their publishing, own all of their masters. They've never had a problem, never had a dispute, they worked out right for them. And that'd be the only person that could come sit next to me. I'll give them my chair that day.
I'll
sit in the crowd.
Yeah, there's not one.
I will also just add, these days you have to do everything. So it's not an or. It's you have to do both. Content and be outside, my guy. You have to do both. You can't just do one.
Here's the thing, Rory. Being outside is creating the content. We talked about that.
Both.
Yeah,
so if going to the club, if you're going to the club to get your record played, well, that's a record you picking out your outfit. Maybe throw two sets of outfits on the bed and let your fans help you get
also
dressed.
Shoot content
what y'all like,
out.
A or B. I'm gonna throw this one on. I'm gonna throw this one on. What y'all like? If that's who you're entertaining and that's what you're trying to accomplish, cool. Let's do that. You're getting outside to the club. Do you know the people? Do you know the valet guys? I would think that if you're gonna go to the club, you would know the valet guys, the ones that you want to park your vehicle in the front are gonna let you hang posters outside of the club. I would think you know them. Well, if you're going to go to the club, wouldn't you want to put up some promo and then maybe throw in there the valet guys letting you get away with it? Oh, you see what I'm doing? And I don't know, bro. Maybe you can just take all of the content, all of your struggles, all of that, and turn that into something that you can use to convey your message of ascension to your fans.
Everything.
Stop thinking every piece of content has to be to celebrate mediocrity. Some of these pieces of content you're sharing with your fans so that you can make a connection. We said it on the show once. A product from a brand is a souvenir to a fan. Don't ever make that, don't ever break that connection. You buy Nike because you feel connected to Nike. Not because it makes you feel warm, because chances are the sweater that your grandmother gave you that you hate is the warmest one that you have. Right? You buy Versace because you feel a connection. You buy Nike because you feel a connection. You buy Roku because you feel a connection. Even if it's what you can afford, there are other brands that you can afford, but you buy with the ones you connect with. And as artists, we don't try to build connections. We try to exploit our fans.
And yet that's the most important thing in the fan relationship is that connection.
Correct.
In this world,
most
our
important
fans are
thing.
suckers. All of our fans are lames. They're all weak. All their bitches want us. That's what we do to our fans. We alienate them. We call them stupid for not liking us. We call them lame. We call them haters for not agreeing with our stance. We don't ever open a forum. I double dog dare you. Find me one artist that goes down and has commented, that dropped a video and has commented, pinned, and liked. That's your fans. Why wouldn't you go down your YouTube comments and engage with the people that, if there's people you feel are hating, block them. You don't need that in your life. There's 8 billion people in the world, bro.
I say Cardi. Cardi engages with her fans. I've seen her.
Let's talk about the ones that we can reach out and touch. The ones that are trying to become Cardi B, the ones that are trying to become to that next level, that are trying to be brand ambassadors for fast food restaurants, for fashion lines, that are trying to get inside
Makeup.
movies and makeup and
Yes.
cartoons. Let's talk to those artists. Why aren't you doing more of what she did to get there? Y'all want to talk about the pole and the stripper and the attitude. Let's talk about the content she was creating. Let's talk about the fact that she always had an opinion and she added it to the social media. It grew. She had a fan base that helped her
Shout
share
out
it.
to her team.
Now she has people that likes her for multiple different things.
Correct.
And people that
And
don't
they're
like her for
fans,
multiple
and they
different
go
things. And
they go
who
hard.
cares? She gets paid. She's able to provide for her family, her team. They're winning right now. That's beautiful. That's what we want for everybody. We can't win if y'all not doing it right. If y'all refuse to do the things correctly, it prohibits everybody that helped you from being able to get paid. I want you to think about that, bro. How many people I know get paid and I help them so they can continue to get paid? So I don't make no money on this one, waiting for you to get on your forum and say, this is the person who helped me do it. Go see him. So then I can get paid. If it's not successful, where do we all stake our claim in that at? Where do we get to say this is what we did? And that's the baffling part for an artist. You're not proud of your content. That's why you don't promote it. Look at what I did. This is my record. Look at what I did. Look at what my team did. You're not proud of that. You want to go on to the next one because it's a formality. Dropping music is not something that it's presented, that you're packaging to your fans. It's just something that you're doing in the midst of you trying to find popularity. And that shit is old, man. Releasing music, you know why? You know what your music is called? We talked about it. Art. Your music is called art. What's the cover of it called? Artwork. They hang art in museums. People discuss art. Wouldn't you want to package and present your art and then deliver it to the people that want it or make it available for them?
Of course you would. Of course you would.
Sounds easy to me. Cheat code.
Cheat code.